This is Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. You know the vibes already. Um, this is gonna be something quick and short. Um, I don't know how to address this the proper way. So if I sound ignorant, if I don't speak on the correct terms or the right things, do not drag me. But I really do feel like what's going on in Gambia, the Congo, Nigeria, South Africa, like all of these places, all of this stuff that's been going on with the corrupt governments and the police brutality. We really, African Americans, you guys really need to start speaking up. This isn't just an African thing, this is a national thing. This is something that it affects them, it affects us. Half of y'all barely even know about the fact that the Congo and how they have the most rich minerals, the most everything that you can think of, from gold to copper to every fucking thing that you can think of. The shit that we use in our phones, our cameras, our TVs, our laptops, our computers, our PlayStations, our video games. What do you think is being used and what's being taken out and where it's being used and where it's being taken from? With Congo. And who do you think is doing it? Enslaved people, and most enslaved kids and other young people. Just to be fucking profited from the Western world and Europe and the UN and everything else. SARS. It's not even about SARS anymore. Yes, it's about the police brutality and how they made a whole separate police force just to do robbery and deal with the corrupt, but the whole corrupt went from being the people to the fucking forces. It's not only about that. It's about the corrupt governments. It's about, I don't know if you guys saw about all of the fucking warehouses just packed high to the roof, just full of food and money that was supposed to be from the UN and the US and other places like that in the UK, helping out these places, just to be held there for over 8 months, 6 months. And money being sitting there rotten from corrupt governments and other people in politics that are literally just hiding money and not actually giving it to the people. And honestly, can you blame them? Somewhat, yes. Somewhat I do blame the people that just, the older generations that just sat around and just, and just kept it as like, you know what, this is just acceptable to us because this is what we were taught. You see these young generations right now, they are fed up. They are willing to die. These people have degrees, other things, and they cannot work, they cannot do anything. Hell yeah, if I was in that situation right now, I would be sitting there dying over this shit because that's something serious. And people say, oh, okay, well, you're not from the Congo. Why do you care about that? Well, you know what? It became my business when I became a nephew of somebody that was from the Congo and his family. It became my business when I realized that I'm actually African, not African American. And you know what? If the same people that were sitting there saying, oh, everybody needs to speak up nationally about this Black Lives Matter, well, we need to start speaking up about shit that's really going on in Africa. And if y'all really do not want to really speak about it, you know what? Get off my channel, unfollow me. I really don't care. But these are really serious topics. This is something that I've had deeply in my heart to really move back to. Y'all don't even understand. When I move in my 30s, I'm moving back to Africa. I'm moving back. This is something that I've had planned on my life for years, and I've been speaking it into existence for several years. So you know what? The people that just say, oh, I don't care, we don't need to care, well, you know what? You can go ahead and get the hell off my channel. But to the people that do care, it doesn't even matter if it's even a simple share, a post, spreads awareness. even donating, you find people on Twitter, even just think about it. Africa and other people in these countries, the only way that they can share this what's going on in their country in live time and the corruption is if they have data. Their data runs like this, and they need money for that. Yes, you can go ahead and donate to these places like, I can't think of the one that's really doing really good right now. But even finding people online and being like, okay, let me donate a couple dollars to you so that you can get data, so that you can be filling us and informing us on what's going on right now. Or for food. These people have sacrificed so much time with so much little pay that they've been getting to just sacrifice and sit here and protest and do this for weeks. Any little thing counts. A share, a post, a donate, organization, it does not matter. Do your part. And I'm calling on everybody, not just me, every single buddy. Do your fucking part. Because if Black lives matter, African lives matter.
Remember the Osagie for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, that now, as you turn in your grave, if you had been alive, you'd possibly be 107 years today. But your people, some of them, in their lack of wisdom, chose to remove you from power. I apologize on their behalf. They gave you only a few years to be present in this world. And during those few years that you are present in this world, you shook not only Ghana but Africa so very fundamentally that although your mortal remains were interred, your spirit is alive and well. And it's that spirit that occupies our minds and hearts today as we remind ourselves that the only way in which Africa will realize our potential is through the path of unity. I know as you lie in your grave, Great Osagyefo, there is a sense in which, in a manner so completely invisible to us, you are turning uncomfortably and weeping uncontrollably, because your continent is bleeding. It is bleeding in every corner. In our heart, in the Congo, she bleeds. That country that is so rich is yet the poorest nation in Africa. But it does not stop bleeding only in the Congo. It also bleeds in our Horn in Somalia. That country, which could be very rich, is only famous for the wrong things. Men killing men for no reason. But it doesn't stop bleeding there. It is also bleeding in our armpit, in Equatorial Guinea, that country that God gave so much oil. That oil was long captured by one family, and they are using it for their benefit to the detriment of their people. And it doesn't stop bleeding there. In Central African Republic and in Libya and in Mauritania and in Mali, your continent is torn asunder. And we who have gathered here today are asking ourselves the fundamental question: what must we do to save Africa? And that is why today, when we are looking at Africa and when we are remembering you on that 24th day of May in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, we cannot help but remember how animated you are. We cannot help but remember that what you saw 50 years ago is turning out to be as evergreen as when you spoke them. You told us then that our unity was going to be our salvation from other civilization. Today, Africa is said to be rising, but the question we are asking, for whom is Africa rising? Today, the minerals in our belly are being exploited, Osagief. The uranium in Niger is being taken away from France to France. The manganese in Ghana, in your own country, is being taken away. Even the cocoa which you must have consumed as a young man is taken away in the same manner that God made it to be converted into something in Switzerland. Your people have not learned to add value to it. They have an apology for a factory in Takoradi, but it does very little, Osagiefo. In other words, there is a lot to be done. We can hear you telling us that we need to have free movement of goods and services in this continent. I can now inform you that when they met on the 27th day of July in Kigali, Rwanda, they created a passport, but that passport is only known to the president. The people of Africa have no idea what it is. But they have started, so we must believe that going forward, every African will carry what is an African passport, which will allow them to move, as you contemplated, from Dakar in Senegal to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, from Cape Town in South Africa to Cairo in Egypt, and that they'll be able to move without free let and hindrance. The Osagiefo, we remember you. But we also remind ourselves that when we talk about unity, we are not saying that we should strike down our traditional institutions. We are simply saying that our traditional institution must be integrated in our modern scheme of doing things. And I must tell you that today here, we are agreeing with Ali Mazrui that indeed what others think is the Tower of Babel can be a power of Babel, and that this continent can be united, and our diversity would be a cultural and linguistic mosaic which would be our strength and the attraction to other parts of the world.